Evening. Welcome back to West Ham Reunited. Only an hour and a half ago, I finished another show, but I'm back. I'm back. And the reason why I'm back is because there's a player who made his 200th appearance for the club yesterday, and he's been around a long time. And I thought, what better way to do a tribute to him? So I've just done a professional thing. I've realised I put the wrong background. I'll change that as we speak. We're joined by James from E20 Zone TV, and of course, a fan favourite, Mike. How you doing, gents?
I'm all good, mate. All good. Over the moon after yesterday. And yeah, loving life.
Yeah, same here.
Still buzzing,
Same.
mate. Still buzzing. What a result. Like I
Yeah,
say, I
no,
get so nervous at those games because I just don't want to lose it so badly. It hurts so bad if we lose that game. But
I know.
But now we
And
can rejoice.
talking of Mike, we've got another Mike. Buy one, get one free.
Exactly, mate.
Mike, how you doing?
That's what happens. That's what happens, isn't it? Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
Yeah,
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. Not bad, thank you. Let's put
Let me
them
just
up
turn
there
the
so
light
people-
on in my car so you got a little bit of light, at least.
No, definitely. So as I said, Angelo Ogbonna made his 200th appearance for the club yesterday. I think that could probably go down as a good 200th game, James, after the result, don't it, mate?
I think he's been brilliant, mate, over the last, say 18 months, 2 years. I think he's been very, very good. Before then, I think a lot of people said, you know what, it's time for him to come and move on. A lot of people wanted him out the door and said he weren't good enough. But
I was one of them, mate. I'm not going to lie. About 3 years ago, I was the same. I was like, I think he's hit that time, but like an Italian defender, he's getting better with age, isn't he?
And I think he looked very, very good with Zuma. I think the pair of them sort of apply to each other so well. You've got the pace and power of Zuma, and you've got the elegance and the positioning and the awareness of Ogbonna, and long may that continue, mate. It's the best partnership I've seen at West Ham for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Hatcher, do you want to go first?
Yeah, mate. He's been consistent, like James said. He's had a few. Everyone has a bad game now and again. You've got to give, a couple of games ago he gave away that free kick against Brentford. And a lot of people were having a go at him, but you just got to look at the long term, mate. He's been so consistent for us, and some great memories. Really, he's had some really good games, and I think he's found a new lease of life playing alongside Zuma.
Mike, what do you reckon, mate?
I'll be honest, I've always liked him, Ogbonna. I've never not liked him. I've never been a hater of Ogbonna. He's always scored some really important goals for us. Most notably the one against, was it back at Upton Park with the one? Was it Upton Park? Wasn't it?
Liverpool. You've spoiled it, Mike, already for me notes. Well done, Mike.
Well, that was like one of his best moments, wasn't it? I mean, and he's adding goals to his game as well, and it's good. I mean, obviously, it's good for us. He's solid, and I don't think he doesn't look troubled, to be honest. Like ever. I mean, I know. Look, every player goes through sort of icky spells, don't they? I mean, no matter who you are. But we've got a good backup. I mean, we got Dawson, got Diop. We got probably like youngsters coming through as well. I mean, what's his name? Jamal Baptiste, I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So, I like him, Ogbonna. I've got to be honest and say that I've never not liked him. I've always thought he's been, he's a really solid defender, and he's no nonsense, and you know what you're going to get with him. I mean, as I alluded to, everyone's allowed a bad game. You're allowed a bad performance. It doesn't make you a bad player, does it?
But no. I think also a lot of the players he was playing with made him look bad. Also, I think when you look at Zuma, he makes him look like a masterclass defender. Do you know what I mean? And I think when Ogbonna's been the main man over the years, people like Balbuena, for instance, haven't really justified it, if that makes sense. And there's other players who
No, I agree,
can't remember.
No, I agree.
I think
So
I'd agree with that too. Yeah, I'd agree with that because he's playing with a better quality of player now. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So I'm going to take it back to where it all began. Like Sweet Caroline goes. I'm not singing.
Oh, why not? I'm disappointed now.
My voice is a bit croaky still from yesterday. So this is his first season. So obviously he arrived from Juventus, and I'm not going to lie, I went to attract a centre half, an Italian centre half from Juventus to Upton Park. That was a big shock for me. Obviously Slav and all that must have had his influence on it. Obviously the picture here is obviously celebration. What Mike was on about. The winner he got in the last minute of extra time against Liverpool. His relationship, what he had, not only what he had with Reed, because Tompkins played there a few times, obviously Ginge played there a few times. There was a particular match in particular, obviously the last game at the Bowling, obviously springs to mind as well as this one. But I remember when we beat Chelsea at home, he was outstanding that day when Andy Carroll scored. He kept obviously their players a lot around. So we'll start with you, James. What do you remember of much of this season with him?
I must admit, I remember quite a lot. He come in, and it was the season when obviously West Ham's the final season at Bowling, wasn't it? And basically everyone was up for it. And I'm not too sure if he played the first game of the season. He might have done against Arsenal, and I think that was when that was the first time we had won there for ages. And we won 2-0. I thought he played really well there. And that was the season when we beat a lot of the big boys. Liverpool away, Man City away.
Yeah.
I think
he did play the 90 minutes on that game.
Yeah. And I thought he come in and he's like a Rolls Royce type of defender. He has he's obviously had defensive partners with him over the years who haven't been as good as him. And maybe that's the reason why a lot of people said, you know what, we won't have him. We might need to get rid of him to get someone better. But I think he's been decent for us. And I do feel for him because he's gone through some hard times with West Ham, especially with the new move to the stadium. But yeah, he was great this season. He really was.
Mr. Hatcher?
Yeah, great season. Yeah, I saw a few games that season, and yeah, he was consistent. You know, he never let us down. He's never been blessed with a great amount of pace. He just reads a game so well. And he scored so many important goals for us as well.
Yeah.
He seems to be getting better at it, you know, but yeah, you know, I've always liked the guy. I've always thought he was a really good buy. Like you said, when we got him from Juventus, I was thinking, you know, we got a player here. We definitely got a guy that, you know, can be around for a while. And you said it earlier, Andy, a lot of Italian defenders get better with age. And I think this guy has. This guy really has.
I agree, mate.
He's had the odd bad game here and there, but so does everyone, you know.
Yeah.
But he's always bounced back, and then he's put he might have had an icky spell here and there, but the guy overall has been, I reckon, he's been very consistent for us.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat as well, remember to put your comments in what you remember of Ogbonna this season. Mike, do you remember much of this season?
Yeah, I saw a few
of this
games.
season. Which Mike are you talking to? Mike Hatcher?
Oh, sorry. Below Mike. Sorry, Mike. I'll call you minicab Mike, Mr. Hatcher. There we go. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't
call me chauffeur.
Chauffeur Mike. There we go. Chauffeur.
Carry on.
The chauffeur's better. No, I think. Mike. I mean, what do I? Well, I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't at the game, but obviously, you know, the 1-0 win away at Everton, which is never an easy place to go, and I think he's had some. I mean, I don't know why. Just in particular at Goodison Park, like Ogbonna always seems to have a good game there. I don't know why. From what I can remember, anyway. I mean, he's just solid, isn't he? I mean, of course, like when he's playing with better. I mean, any player is going to be better when he's playing with better players around him, unless you're like a club like Man U, of course. Sorry, not poking too much fun there. But you know, I mean, and I'm sure you all know who I'm referring to by that. So yeah, Yeah, I mean, playing with better players definitely helps, but I just think he's always been solid. Like, I just, when I think of Ogbonna, I just think solid, assured, good concentration.
Yeah.
He sticks to his task, and I think obviously he's become a lot better player. I think under fair to say under Moyes, I'd say. I mean, all the players really under Moyes. Moyes has found another gear and one, and more from all our players, I feel. So I think, Moyes has got to be given a lot of credit for his for Ogbonna's improvement, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I couldn't agree more. See, this is the one what obviously making the 200 appearances. We're moving on now to the first year at the London Stadium. Obviously, in all competitions, he only played 26 times, including 20 of them in the Premier League. The main reason for that was obviously he had his knee surgery, so he obviously missed a load of games. But the ones what spring to mind where he was outstanding was obviously where's that game here? What I've got was when we drew 1-1 with Man United. That was a very good performance. Palace at home when like when we won 3-0. Andy Carroll volley. So yeah, no, he's been a solid player, and like you said, it's just the partnerships what we had, because I think this is when I think it might have been next year when Reed started to decline, but it's just like a Rolls Royce, really, isn't he? So like, does anyone remember any games from this season in particular?
It was an hard season that season because we just moved into the LS, and we was getting obliterated by teams because we didn't know how to play up there. Do you know what I mean? We was better away from them, I think. And we was at home, like we didn't want to play at home, and I'm not really. I do remember a lot of defeats that we had, like a couple of hammerings at home by like Arsenal. We lost 5-1, I think, at home. And Sanchez got an hat trick. And a couple of other games where it just wasn't good at home. But this is where the season, I believe, this is where a lot of people was looking at him and going, you know what, we might need to look elsewhere because he's just not cutting it. And I think it goes into this season, into the following season. But he's proved us a lot. He's proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, no, definitely, Mr. Hatcher.
Yeah, that wasn't the season of the Burnley game, was it, at home? Or was that the season after?
Season after, I think. Season after.
Was it? Yeah, I remember a few games. It wasn't a great season, mate, was it? We've just taken time to settle into the stadium, and it was, it wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault. He had a couple of bad games, but so did everyone. To be fair, and defensively, we were poor at times. Like
when you got Areola, was it Arbeloa? Sorry, Evra as your defenders, you got to start worrying, don't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah. So this season, his last game was the 21st of January, and he didn't play until the last game of the season when we beat Burnley away 2-1.
Oh yeah.
When Declan Rice, so he missed a big chunk of that season with the knee injury. He was on the bench for the hammering we got at home, Liverpool 4-0, and he didn't feature, and then featured on the last game of the season. So it's a tough season, especially not just for us, but for him also. Chauffeur Mike, do you remember much of this season?
Of this season? What of
16, 17. Yeah, 16, 17.
So it's very so that was our last. The first season at London Stadium. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, as you say, it was mostly injured, wasn't he? So I mean, you're saying that he come back at the end of the season?
Yeah, the last game. Yeah.
No, honestly, no, I don't. No, I mean, I'm sorry. I apologise. My mind's.
No, that's fine, mate. It's not a problem. Like I said, this
my
is just
mind's
a short
gone
and
blank.
sweet. No, that's fine, mate. That's not a problem. Move on to the next one. Do anyone remember this game?
That's the League Cup game for the 3-2.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
There we go.
What game was that?
That was Tottenham, the 3-2 win at Wembley.
Was it Wembley? Yeah.
Yeah, the
Was it
3-2 win at Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in the cup. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
did Ogbonna score the winner in that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scored a header.
Yeah, he scored the winner. Yeah.
IU scored 2. That's right. Yeah.
And then Ogbonna scored the winner with a header. Yeah.
Yeah, we were 2-0 down at half time, and then everyone thought like, oh my god, what's going on? I was at that game as well, and it was just like that was a good moment.
Yeah. So apart from this goal, the other 2 goals he scored that season was in defeats when we lost 2-1 away to Man City, and where was the other one? And the other one was he scored in the previous round.
I was going to say, he can't be that bad a defender if he scored past City's defence, can he?
Yeah, no, back then.
And we should have won that game and all. I think he scored first in that game, remember rightly.
Yeah. So in this, like you sort of said, James, it sort of mirrors in. So the start of this season, he played the full 90 minutes away to Man United when we lost 4-0. He also played in the 2 away games at Newcastle and Southampton. This was a season when we had to play 4 games away from home. And then he was on the bench for 4 or 5 games, and then that's when he featured for the rest of the season. So I don't know whether it's a bit of trying to get where he was trying to get back to fitness, but yet again he's proved consistently playing over 30 games a season when he's not injured. So it's great testament to him.
This was the season, I think, when Billy had a lot of problems with Payet. It was like, I think it was the season when we actually sold Payet, and then
he got sacked.
Then he got sacked, yeah. And then I think Moyes come in towards the end of that reign.
Yeah, that's correct, mate. Yeah.
And listen, I think there was games where people was looking at him and thinking, is he really what we need, so to speak, as a centre half? Like, we needed a bit more pace at the back, because when you had Ginge at the back, he was solid, rugged. Go back to Winston Reid, same thing, rugged but no pace. And even Ogbonna, for how good he is, he's not really fast, so to speak. But his awareness and his positioning gets him out of trouble because he's Italian, and that comes natural in life, I think. But yeah, I remember that season pretty well. It was an hard season, especially when Moyes come in. That was the season when that happened at Burnley, and we got obliterated at home against them, and
3-0.
There was a lot of outcry.
So I've just had a look here. So in this season, all the 38 appearances he played, he played full 90 minutes in every single one of them that season. So it just proves once Moyes sort of come in as well, he established it. But yeah, no, it was a great, like I said, I think this was the season before, like you said, was when he was getting written off, and like you said, the players who he was playing with, I think this was the season when Creswell done his knee as well, from my understanding as well. So obviously Creswell was missing for most of it. And the one thing is, what sort of surprised me is when Creswell gets the armband, you'd think an Italian, it would be. I know he's a leader on the pitch, but I know he's only captained us like 4 or 5 times. Does that sort of surprise you, or does that not really bother you?
Well, for me personally, I've never really seen Ogbonna as a leader, so to speak. He's good. He's very, very good. But I think other players, like when Mark Noble's been there, who's going to take the armband off Noble, really, if I'm honest. And there's been other players there in the past. Maybe Collins is a bit more vocal than Ogbonna. I don't really see Ogbonna as a shouter, so to speak. Yeah. He's not one of them ones who's going to wind people up and get them all psyched up. He's elegant. He's quiet, but he's composed. That's the words I could use for Ogbonna, if I'm honest.
Mr. Hatcher?
Yeah, he's pretty quiet for a centre half, really. All the centre halves I ever played with were flipping loud and bellowed in my ear because I was a fullback. But I mean, to be totally honest, yeah, he's never been that sort of man. And like James is saying, I'd see more instructions coming from people like Creswell. So that doesn't shock me that Creswell gets an armband in front of him. You don't see him shouting and bawling. He just gets on with his game and his nice tidy way. And he's one of those, isn't he? I mean, it's not for everyone, is it? It's not for everyone. I think some people, you know what I mean, just go out on a pitch and want to do their job. But other guys are born leaders, and they want to get everyone up and get them going. I don't see him as that sort of player. He's just a good, steady centre half. That's what you want. And he don't make many mistakes, and that, you know, proves his worth.
Mike, do you want to add anything, mate?
No, I just have to agree with what James said. Really, he's not. Can't really sort of put him in the same category as like a leader of men, like Mark Noble. Sorry to coin the phrase or the old cliche. But I mean, I think he's a bit more. He's quiet on the pitch, isn't he? Really, he's not he's not really one that sort of directs. No, do this, do that. He's not really it's not really like a very vocal player. And I think from what I've seen, like when you see, like, you don't really see him get interviewed that often, do you? And like from what I've seen of him and from what I know of him, he's quite it comes down to his personality. I think he's a bit what's the word? Try and think of the word. Like a bit timid and quite quiet. I think that's fair. Is that fair to say?
He's a calming influence, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's a calming influence with players who, let's be honest, when you've got to try and work with Ginge, you've got to be a calming influence. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Mike. Calming influence for me, though, mate, I would say.
Yeah.
This has got a bit of a theme to it because most of these pictures are after we won, and this is when we won at Tottenham's new ground.
Yeah.
I thought I had to put that
new ground or Tottenham's old ground.
Well, Tottenham's new ground. Tottenham's new ground.
Oh,
yeah,
Wembley.
Sorry, no, Hart Lane.
Oh, you're talking about the current. Oh, right. Okay, the new White Hart Lane or whatever it's called, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fucking. Yeah.
Adam, who's regular West Ham Fan TV fan, Camsey says Angela's been a great unreal servant for us. I remember one season he played in week in out with his injury free, then he had to miss the remaining months of the season. Yeah, I think that was the previous season, Adam. Adam, what we were talking about. But yeah, absolutely unreal. And Jazz is doing his revision for his exam tomorrow. Wednesday. So that's why he's not on.
Good luck, Jazz.
Giving me, So this season was sort of the same. So this is when Manuel Pellegrini. This is the first season under Pellegrini, and he played the first two games, Liverpool and Bournemouth away. Bournemouth at home. Sorry, when we lost, and then he was not in the squad, and then on the bench for about 12 games. Didn't feature at all, apart from the EFL Cup games.
That was the season when Diop and Balbuena were signed, wasn't it? Both of them were signed.
Yeah, this is Pellegrini. Yeah, Pellegrini's first season. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that game because that's probably one of the best two defensive play that we had when Balbuena and Diop played at White Hart Lane, especially Diop. He was phenomenal. In this season, it was an hard one though, Andy, because we got absolutely obliterated at Oxford, 4-0, and then we went out of the FA Cup to Wimbledon, 4-2, and. I believe he played in the Wimbledon one. I'm pretty sure. I think it was him and Diop together. And this is when they started to the voices started to say, you know what, is it time to have a change? Obviously, Pellegrini had brought in, and let's be honest, he was a backup for Balbuena and Diop in that sort of defensive, like how Dawson is and Diop are now is how he was this season. But I must admit, towards the end of that season, he sort of to start to kick into gear, and we were seeing the Ogbonna of old, basically.
Yeah, no, definitely. He scored one Premier League goal this season, and that was in the comeback win when we were 3-1 down to Huddersfield. Who remembers that?
Oh,
that 7-goal thriller.
Yeah, that was an amazing game, wasn't it?
Yeah. A couple of other games what spring to mind was when we drew 1-1 with Liverpool. He played 90 minutes there. I remember he was outstanding then. Where else?
Yeah.
Was that the season when Arnautovic scored? Was it against Chelsea when we won 1-0?
No, that was the season before when Moyes was in charge. This is the first season under Pellegrini, so it's not great. These results, when you just look at them, really, it's not really that great. Chauffeur Mike, do you remember much about this season? First year under Pellegrini.
first year of Pellegrini. No, pass next. Honestly.
No, that's
I'll be
fine, mate.
honest.
That's not a problem.
I don't
Like
want
I
to.
said, I
I don't
wanted to
want to
keep
come
this.
out with garbled rubbish, and yeah. So yeah.
No, that's fine, mate. No problem.
Is this when we lost 5-0 to Man City, or was that the season after?
I think it was, yeah. Twice, I think, or 4-0.
Yeah.
I think
So moving on.
Yeah, carry on.
I will add
No, go on,
something
Mike,
though.
sorry.
I will add my little 2 cents. What's his
Go on.
first? Do you know? Well, I'm guessing you looked at it. You know his real name, his first name.
No.
Ubinze Angelo Ogbonna. Ubinze is actually his first name. Obinze. Yeah.
Wow. You learn something new every day, Mike.
Well,
Thank you very much.
You'll all sleep better tonight knowing that.
Much better.
So,
that's a great trivia question.
Yeah,
I'll
if it
remember that
comes
one.
up, mate. Yeah,
It will be, won't it? It'll be like, what's Angelo Ogbonna's real name? And then people will just come out with like, yeah, they'll come out with like Angelo. It'll be like, no, it's Angelo, like
Or
a trick
Ange.
question or something like that.
Good old Ange.
yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Adam. Don't remind me of Pellegrini. You've only got a little bit longer, mate. Only got a little bit longer. So this is the season when Mamma Pellegrini lasted till Christmas.
Yeah.
As you can see here, Angelo Ogbonna played 33 times for the club that season, scoring 2 goals. 2 of the goals coming in the defeats. One was a 3-1 defeat to Arsenal, and the other one was the 3-2 defeat at home to Spurs, unfortunately. But the one thing what I can remember about this season was how instrumental he was when Pellegrini left, and obviously since then it's been a different bit of fresh air. Obviously the relationship what he had. Ideally, I remember this season. This was when he played with Diop for most of it.
Yeah.
When Moyes come back, and I thought this was starting to get the Diop of old back, and then obviously it sort of didn't. Moyes sort of lost faith with him when it got to the end of the season. Once we were safe, was a bit unfortunately. But James, do you remember much of this season with Angelo?
Yeah. What it was, it was when Diop was making a lot of mistakes, and Diop was getting a lot of criticism, right? And they're saying that Diop and the Ogbonna don't work. And I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure who replaced Diop. I think it might even be Balbuena or someone in that ilk. I think Ogbonna was getting a lot of stick even to then, because both of them, I'll never forget a game. I can't remember what game it was.
I know. I'm going to tell you now. It was the Brighton 3-0 when we were 3-0
That's
up.
the one, yeah. And it was
right in front of us.
It was like the 2 Ronnies, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like they couldn't defend anything, right? And but it's mad to see how they've developed. Whether that's which I take that down to Moyes. I think Moyes has done a great job with working, especially with Angie, right? For the time he's been here, like twice he's been here. So this season's a bit hazy for me. So, but I do remember that Brighton game, I must admit.
Mr. Hatcher?
The Brighton game I remember too well, mate. Yeah, because that happened right in front of us. And well,
I was there as well, Mike, but you didn't know who I was. I was right next to you.
Behind me, yeah. Who are you?
Yeah, James. Yeah, James. This is sorry. I don't know if you know. So basically, in the OS. So I was in the first 2 years. I was in different seats, and since then, I've been in my home right next to the away fans. And until Leicester, Mike literally sits 2 rows in front of me, and I didn't even know. And now we know each other on. You couldn't write it, could you?
No, unbelievable.
Who's stalking who out of you two? Tell the truth.
I don't know. I really don't know. But no, it's a small world.
The game just sticks in my head, and we were abysmal at the back. We were lucky to get away with a 3-3 draw, if I remember rightly. But
yeah.
I remember I'm pretty sure Moyes' first game was against Bournemouth, was it, on New Year's Day?
When we won 4-0, yeah.
And we were just such a changed team. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Was that the season, though, with lockdown, though? I'm trying to... Because what it is, when lockdown come into play,
Yeah, that
It's
does
sort
my
of
head in a little bit. Can't
That's
Yeah.
correct. It is.
yeah, and it was like lockdown come at the right time for us. I know it was wrong for the world, but it was the right time for West Ham because I think if we'd have carried on going, we would have been getting relegated. That way we was.
Yeah. So the football ended on the 3rd of March and resumed on the 20th of June.
That's right.
And what was the games that he played? The team played. I remember. See the game that he did play with. It's just coming back to me now. The Watford game.
Oh,
Big game at London Stadium, and it was like
3-1 win. Declan Rice as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
big game.
And even the Chelsea game, I think, even though we won the game 3-2, that was a game. That game kept us up, I believe.
Yeah.
I think if we lose that, we're going down.
Yeah.
Chauffeur Mike, what do you remember, mate, of this season? This is obviously lockdown season.
Lockdown season. So was that Brighton 3-3? Was that a lockdown
Yeah.
game, or was that was a? Oh
That
my
weren't in
God,
lockdown.
yeah.
That happened on the 2nd of February, so a month before lockdown.
Before we locked
Oh,
down.
before lockdown. Okay. No, go on. Pass. I'm going to go X.
Survey says
a big red eggs on that one. No,
Right.
I've had a long day. I apologise.
No, it's all right. Everyone should remember this one. So this is last season. This is a lot more better. Obviously, full season, majority of the season, obviously without crowds. Big season for the club, obviously qualifying for Europa League, and I'm not just saying it. A lot of that was to do with us, the spine of the team: Souček, Rice, Ogbonna, Antonio. Like them three for there. The one in particular, if I'm going to nick it, where I thought Angelo was absolutely outstanding, was Leeds away when he scored the winner, and the Man City at 1-1. I thought he was outstanding. The one with Antonio's overhead kick. Chauffeur Mike, we'll start with you on this one because you'll probably remember these games. These are this is the games last year.
Thanks for that. No pressure or anything then. No.
So this is last season's one. It's a lot closer. Next time I ask you one, Mike, or everyone, I'll give you more time and you can do your own work.
Thanks. Yeah, that's what I should have done when you said you're going to do this morning, right?
But do you remember many of these games, mate?
Do you know what? Yes. I mean, yes and no. I couldn't really. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to lie and say, "Oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one." No. Again, no. Next, pass. That's 2 lives gone.
That's fine. Oh wow. We're only on this season, mate. If you get that, you're definitely out. Next season. James, what about you, mate?
I remember quite a few of these games. I remember the Leeds game away, what you said. Obviously, Craig Dawson played with him also on the 29th of December 2020. And Dawson come in. And I must admit, in January, we played like West Brom, Burnley, and teams like that at home, and he was pretty decent. I must admit, Everton away stands out. Aston Villa away stands out when Jesse Lingard run the show there. And he was looking good. But also, he was making Dawson look good and all. Because let's be honest, when Dawson arrived, I think every West Ham fan thought, where is Tarkowski? We're supposed to be going for Tarkowski. We ended up getting Craig Dawson, and let's be honest, none of us was really impressed. But
I've got to add. So Ogbonna missed 7 league games from 15th of February until the 11th of April. So he missed them games. He missed the key wins against Sheffield United, Spurs, Leeds at home, Arsenal. And the 2 wins against Wolves and Leicester, he missed them games. So he missed. Well, the fact that the side got through that, considering Angelo's form, that's right. Testament to obviously Diop and Dawson as well.
Because he got injured, didn't he, at Manchester United in the FA Cup game?
Yeah.
And Martial, who didn't get any any card whatsoever, left one on him. And I must admit, at the beginning part of that season, he was very good. He played pretty decent, I must admit. And But then saying that Dawson come in and sort of tore it up also, so it sort of
Virgil van Dawson.
Yeah, and it sort of come into his own. But towards the end of the season, especially West Brom away, I think he come in and played, and he played all right.
Yeah, that's his other goal. Mike, I'm going to put it to you.
That was I was just about to say that was his other goal. That's the only one goal that I can remember that season.
Yeah. So, Mr. Hatcher, question for you.
I remember a few of these. I remember them better when I'm at the stadium. And
quick question before you carry on. Sorry. So I mentioned Leeds at home.
Yeah.
No, Leeds away. Sorry.
Leeds away. Yeah.
West Brom away. Where did he get his other goal? Ogbonna.
Good question.
Oh. Adam will probably know this in the chat as well. I won't put it up.
Was it Southampton? No, not Southampton. No, because I was at that game anyway when we played Southampton. I was there then. What's the other one?
Everyone's thinking the car.
No, it's gone, mate.
What's in the cup? Was it? Was it in the cup game?
Premier League goal.
Who was that against?
Against Burnley.
No.
West Brom.
Well, Wolves at home, was it?
No. Close.
Some of Wolves are Leicester, weren't they?
Villa. Leicester.
Well done, Mike. Villa at home. The 2 games before. With a diving, with Greenish diving.
Yes, I remember it well now. Yeah.
God, I should have got that one.
Flipping hell, mate. Hey, I got an excuse, mate. Old timers disease setting in here.
I've already made up my mind. I'm spoiling the people and the viewers. It probably won't be next week because we've got. Oh no, I could probably do it next week. Actually, the next appreciation night is for Aaron Creswell. So you got to get your homework for his goals. You know what? I'm going to do a quiz. I'm going to get a quiz for you for my guest next week. There we go. Just to liven it up. I think that's probably a bit better.
I got one about Creswell. Did you know he wears a magic hat?
Yeah.
I got around something tonight. I ain't mad at myself, so come on. I mean, you got to give me that.
Yeah. No, definitely good shot. Obviously last year it was an outstanding season. Obviously Souček getting hammered a year. Do you reckon any other season Ogbonna probably would have got it?
I think if we don't get injured, he 100% gets it. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think if he gets injured, where he got injured, it was right at the key time, wasn't it? To be honest, when you look at them games, I think we only drew with Arsenal. I think he weren't there at the Newcastle game. Obviously, we beat Wolves and Leicester.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if he don't get injured, he 100% gets player of the year for sure.
Yeah.
So see, this is the game. Like this is probably. I know last year was a great season, but in my opinion, obviously the game we lost at home to Everton.
Yeah.
Was when Dawson was that side and Calvert-Lewin got through it. In my opinion, if Ogbonna was there, obviously he was injured. He just come back from injury.
Yeah.
But if he was there, I don't think Calvert-Lewin scores that goal.
No, you're right.
I know you can't. That's just my opinion. Like I don't think Calvert-Lewin would have got through.
Yeah,
because he got spun, didn't he, Dawson? Didn't he? He got spun.
Dawson got done for a bit of pace there. He just got caught out of position as well. Dawson's normally so good at getting himself in the right position because he knows he's got that lack of pace.
Yeah,
he has to get himself in the right position. But something I'll say about Dawson is I think he helped Ogbonna as well because he's vocal. He organised defence, and Ogbonna then just gets on with his game. So I think those two did well together, even though neither of them are mightily quick. I mean, I think Dawson came in and got that defence organised, and I think people just listened to him, and I think he's a leader, definitely. But Ogbonna, he's quite happy to just get on and play his game, and that's great, because we're all made up differently, aren't we? And be fair to Ogbonna, I think he thrived on that, letting Dawson get on and doing the organising.
Yeah, no, definitely. Before we move on, does anyone have any more memories of Ogbonna for last year, or have I sort of spoilt them all?
Basically, yeah.
All right, cheers. Moving on. This is going to be a tough
Just
one.
quickly, I'm just going to butt in. You can probably see me wearing my mask, so I've got to go and pick up my clients. So I'm going to leave you guys.
No worries, Mike.
That's
pleasure.
Thanks for coming on, Mike.
Yeah, no worries. I've got a little bit of Ogbonna in here.
Yeah.
All right, then, mate. I'll see you later.
All right. Yeah, cheers, guys. See you later. Have a good one.
care,
Have a good evening. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
This season, so we played these. So he's played 9 times for us. Obviously, he's got that goal at Everton. First of all, that relationship with Zuma, we've sort of mentioned it. James, it's probably up there, best partnership in years, isn't it?
It's best partnership I've seen at West Ham, I think, for a long time. I can't remember. I think the blend is absolutely perfect. You've got pace and power of Zuma, who can win everything in the air and on the ground, and you've got the elegance and the class and the calmness of Ogbonna. Out of the 9 games this season that he's played, I think his worst game was against Brentford. I think he was all over the place at Brentford. I don't know what happened there, but he wasn't the same player. But then I think also what helps the situation is when Rice is your DM. I think when Declan Rice is your defensive midfield player, Ogbonna's got some protection there if he doesn't do the job, so to speak. But him and Zuma together, mate, phenomenal brick wall for me.
Mike, it's probably a tough one for you because, no disrespect, you're a little bit older than me and James, and obviously you've seen some partnerships over the years. Where does this rank with you?
Oh, it's up there, mate. Obviously, Elvin. I remember going back to, Bobby Moore, and Tommy Taylor, and then I remember Kevin Locke and Tommy Taylor. I remember Elvin Martin and Billy Bonds, and
Tony Gow as well. Tony Gow.
Yeah, another great defender. I mean, we've had a lot of really good players, but this is up there with him, and I've got to say that. I know it's early days, 9 games into a season.
It's just all if and buts. You just wished Ogbonna was just a couple of years younger, so they could have spent a bit more time. I know Ogbonna's getting better with age, but you know what I mean. If he was just a couple, if we got a Zuma 2 years ago, do you know what I mean? But yeah.
I honestly think they're up there with they could be. It's the beginning of could be a beautiful friendship back there. I mean, that they could be a good pairing. I do think, he needs a bit of help at times. Ogbonna, he's been brilliant. He's been great, but I think Zuma has given it to him. He's given him a decent bit of help now. And he's also helping all the rest. I mean, it's a long time, right? I know we've had a lot of good centre-backs over the years, but it's a long time since we've had 4 good centre-backs. And then we have, at this moment in time, we've got 4 decent players. And you could throw probably a pairing of any of those 2 in there and we'd be all right. I'd feel perfectly fine with a pairing of any of those 2. But I think Ogbonna and Zuma are the best 2, full stop. And I just hope they stay fit and they keep going as long as they can this season.
Yeah, I think the difference is though is like what you said there. We've got 4 centre backs, so if one does get injured, I think I think obviously Zuma would be a miss, but it's just that I'm not worried now if Ogbonna does because obviously Zuma steps over to that side. I remember Zagreb, Zuma's first game, and obviously Zuma moved over to that, and he's comfortable playing over that. You know what it's like, Mike, as a centre back moving from left to right. It is a big jump, but with Zuma, I feel comfortable with him moving over there.
Yeah. Going back, I know we're talking about Ogbonna, but going back to Diop, he was struggling on the left-hand side. He was really struggling with balls over the top of him, down into the, into the channels. But I think now that these 2, they really, they've got it sorted. And when Diop comes in with Zuma or Diop comes in with Ogbonna now, I think, we got more of an understanding, and a lot of that is down to Moyes as well. You got to praise.
And Piercy as well. Obviously, he knows how to defend, doesn't he? So.
Definitely, Pierce. I think he's doing a lot behind the scenes as well with him.
I think also though, just to sort of interject there, I look at it like this. I think Diop can learn a lot from Zuma. Like me and Andy spoke before about centre half. We can get Diop playing. Then imagine having Diop and Zuma as a pair. Because I do believe Diop's a very, very good player, but I just think he's just lost confidence a little bit. He's starting to regain it a little bit with Dawson, I must admit. In the Europa League games, he hasn't really done anything wrong, right, so to speak. But the future for me, if I was to pick the best partnership, it would be Diop and Zuma. Both athletic, both French, both can do good in the air. Imagine that.
Both got pace. Both got pace as well.
Both got
pace. And that's one thing with West Ham that we haven't never had as centre halves is pace. And we need pace in the Premier League in this day and age. That's it, really.
No, definitely. Let's have a look at some comments as well, what people are saying. Adam, it's early doors, but Ogbonna and Zuna look excellent together. Outstanding. I've never seen us have four good centre-backs. Yeah, I agree. Gary, hope you're well, sir. We have four centre-backs that could start in most teams in the Prem. Yeah,
I agree, Gary.
Agree with you there. And Kaz, all our defenders have upped their game since Zuma joined. Maybe it's an influence, or maybe there's a fight for places. Either way, it's good for the team. Yeah.
I think it's good that we got. We're in four competitions at the moment, and that is good because we're all worried that our squad wasn't big enough. But we're basically a left back and a striker short of being where we all want to be. We all know that. But now, because we're in four competitions, these guys can all get a game. They can all get a gig.
And the thing, the thing is with that also, and I totally agree, right? I'll just look at it like this, though. When you look at that team, I think Moyes has to take a lot of credit there.
Yeah.
Like, to have Craig Dawson, let's be honest, Craig Dawson coming in and being the player he is, and he's right. Apart from the Newcastle game this season, where I thought he was a bit poor, he's coming in the Europa League. We haven't conceded a goal, and West Ham of old, the last two Premier League games, Everton away and Spurs at home. Us trying to see out them games in the past, we would be on like knife edge. Basically, we'd be thinking, what we're going to do? We're going to concede, but we can't defend it out. But I must admit, the last two Premier League games, we have defended it out brilliantly. Like, very controlled, professional, and just done a professional job. And I must admit, I am so happy with how they're playing at me, especially as a defensive aspect of the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. Gary, is it right Dawson has scored more goals as a defender in the Prem? Yeah, I think that is. So I've just had a look at his stats. So for West Ham, he's played 34 times for us and scored 5 goals.
I remember him scoring against us from West Brom, equaliser. Right.
Just looking at his overall, don't get me wrong, a lot of them are Football League, but his goal scoring record is ridiculous. Yeah, I remember this. So he's played 400
goals than my Eager.
Yeah. So
it's Traore, isn't he?
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, some of these are in League 1 and League 2 in the Championship, but this is good stats for you, yeah? So in his whole career, he's played 408 times and scored 49 goals. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's better than some strikers.
A lot better than a lot of strikers.
I think that's probably better. Let's try and work it out. Picky on, my Eager. I'm going to do it. Mido, Benny McCarthy.
I'd go back to John Radford. We signed him from Arsenal, and he's meant to, he was scoring goals galore for Arsenal. Never even scored for us.
No, it's mad. It's mad. So boys, if you're not, obviously, I'll just finish it off quickly. So just for the full stats for everyone. So Angelo Ogbonna, 200 appearances for West Ham, 13 goals and 1 assist so far. Hopefully he's around for another couple more. What I'm going to ask is, obviously, he's settled in London. I know that for a fact. Could you see maybe someone like him being put onto the coaching staff? Do you reckon he'd be a good coach, or sticking around? Being a part of the mould. Do you know what I mean?
I can see, me personally, I can see a very promising future with Mark Noble and certain ex-West Ham players coming to into that background. I think Mark Noble's destined to.
Yeah, because if you look, mate, like you said, every age group from under 8s all the way up to under 18s, there's an ex-West Ham player. You've got Zavon in there, you've got Colton, stuff like that. So not just around the first team, but anywhere in the club. Imagine you're 12 years old and you've got Angelo Ogbonna teaching you how to defend.
Yeah, imagine that, and you think about that for a second. Like, if you've got Angelo Ogbonna at 12 years old, time they get to 20, they're going to be on it. Like, do you know what I mean? And I just think the way they're doing things now, it's very professional at West Ham. I've never seen it like that. Like, it's always been saying, right, to sod it up, like someone's tried to do something, or it's never been that professional. And I do believe that in the future, maybe Collins will get a gig, maybe Ogbonna will do, because they deserve it, mate. They've been great servants, especially Ogbonna. He has been a great servant. And he's proved the doubters wrong, and which is a good thing. And it's not like people. One thing with the West Ham fan base is we are very reactionary. We will react now and think about it later and go, "Oh, yeah, maybe maybe he was all right." Do you know what I mean? But he deserves a role at the club for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. No, definitely. Let's have a look at some comments quickly before we go. So we've had that one. Jazz is saying we are massive. Yes, we are. If you want to score against us, you have to get through 10 men easy. Antonio run the length of the pin. Yeah, no, I agree, Gary.
On, Gary.
Jazz, I know some players played against Dalton at youth players and said it was impossible to mark. I can imagine him. He just doesn't care, does he? I remember, was it Gillingham? Do you remember when he just bushed part, or was it Gillingham, wasn't it, when he just smashed the ball at the header in? Or was it?
No, that was Stockport County away, mate.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, when he just we pushed him out of the way. Obviously, he was so unlucky in Europa League. Not last game, the game before, when he had the header at the post. He's such a day. I agree, Gary. And the one player who they should get back, they should get Teddy back if he's not doing anything. Because when we had Teddy, we were scoring goals for fun. Or Dean Ashton. Get Dean Ashton. I know he's injured, but he's the best striker, like, in my area.
Yeah.
For both feet and technique, he was second to none.
Imagine having Dean Ashton now.
I think he's still only 35. That proves how young he was when he retired. I think he's still only 35.
Such a shame that he got that injury. He was looking so good. He was definitely
It would have been at Man United. He would have stayed with us for another year, and he would have smashed that Premier League goal. He would have smashed Alan Shearer's record easy.
Yeah. I agree.
Right, gents. I'm not going to lie. I've really used to. Would you like to become a panel for our testimonial for players? I think me and you, and maybe we'll get someone else on. And then next week, because we ain't got a game next week, till next Thursday. So maybe next Tuesday, we'll do an appreciation for Aaron Creswell if you're interested.
Yeah. Oh, come on, mate. No worries.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Like you said. Mike, as well, not even just current players, I think we should just pick random players every time. Everyone in the chat as well. If you think of a player, like I'm probably going to do one for Ginger after as well.
Yeah,
Ginger's another one, but some other players, they don't have to be at the club now. They could be like appreciations, players who people forgot about. One player who goes under the radar is Steve Lomas as well. He goes so under the radar as well. So yeah. Like I said, we'll create like a series, like a testimonial. It's gone on a little bit longer than I expected, but the conversation was flowing. That's the main thing. One thing what I do want to plug though, before I go, is obviously yesterday was a great result, a fantastic result. But Mike, I'm going to get you on it as well if you can stay down here. Obviously yesterday I met a West Ham legend, Julian Dix, at the West Ham Way event.
Yeah.
Yesterday. I'm a patron of the West Ham Way as well, but it means I get it for 25 quid instead of 30. So you pay 30 quid for the event. Starts 2.5 hours before. So I was there at 10 a.m. yesterday morning. Drink as much as you want. I've got stuff on, like spirits, beer. You can sit there. Obviously, I've got stuff signed. Mike, I think they ain't gone on sale yet. I don't know if you going to the Liverpool game.
Yeah. Definitely,
they're doing it on that Sunday. If you can come up the night before, it's O'Neill's in Leytonstone.
Get up the night before.
They've got Tony Gale, next guest.
Have they? He'd be good. Tony Gale's really good.
Yeah. James, you don't even have to come to you could probably go to the thingy if you want to. Me and Jazz are normally there as well. Like, you don't obviously if the Liverpool games after. I don't know whether how quick you could get back, or you could go and watch it in a pub in Stratford, or so we normally get an Uber to the ground, so it's like 10 minutes away from if you fancy coming to the event.
Yeah. That's all right, mate. Yeah, I'll let you know where I'm at, and
like I said, it's a it's a really good. Like I said, Dixie. Obviously, Mark Wall presents it, so you know what Mark Wall. Oh my God, Jazz will tell you he's a character. I'm quickly going to spoil a story. Yeah, you might have heard this. So Dixie, they were like, so in the end, so that in the end, because they're bad behaviour, that in training, so John Niall, they were. Dixie were taking each other out, so obviously Dixie's playing left back in training. Mark's what they didn't care; they were beating the shit out of each other basically. So John Lyle pulled him into the and went, in training you've got to be on the same team. Can't injure one or two of my best players. And they went, as punishment as well, you've got to room with each other from now on. And they both looked at each other like, oh my God, what the hell are we gonna do? So the rule was, first to the room gets the remote. Yeah, in the hotel room. One time, Mark Dixie got distracted and Walt got the TV remote, so he runs to the room and they're watching it. And then Dixie's like, "I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back." And then he started doing his ironing. Dixie had OCD, so he irons all of his shirts and stuff like that. And Waldy got out the shower, and as Waldy walked past, Dixie burnt the iron right on his arse. Like burnt the iron, burning hot iron right like that. So yeah, this was the day of the game. Yeah. So he said, "There I am." Obviously, everyone normally gets like in the physio before the game, gets stretched out by the physio. There's Waldy naked, laying on the bed like that, and the physio's putting Vaseline on his ass.
The things we don't know what happens now.
No, it gets better. It gets better. So the following night, because the game finished late, they stayed in the same hotel. So Waldy's like, "I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get." And Dixie said he always sleeps naked. He don't care who's there. He sleeps naked. So he's sleeping naked, and he woke up in the morning. He was like that. Got up. He saw brand stuff, and he's like, "Shit, I've shit myself. What Waldy's done? We've got chocolate buttons all around him, and they all melted on him in the sleep, and he thought he shit himself during the night." But that was just one of the stories. So you can imagine what it's like. Mark. Literally, do you know, like, if he's talking to Dixie and you talk, he gets up, Waldy, he goes, "Listen here, you, like, mucking around, shut the fuck," you know, what the strong But literally, like, Dave and X are top blokes anyway, and literally, the event, I had such a brilliant time, and obviously I've got my shirt signed as well, so I'm going to get that framed with Dix and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it's definitely good.
Excellent. Yeah.
Sorry I let that drag on, but I just wanted to plug it, because people who haven't been, like, literally, it's amazing.
Hey, if I could get up the night before, I'd be interested. My boy might want to go as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, let me know, and I can send you the link, because you get it. That you sent like a QR code, and then you just they scan it as you go in. And like you said, they've got all drink, mate. They've got IPA, Coors, Guinness, everything on draft as well, and you drink it. It's lovely.
That's lethal for me.
But no, like you said, you got other guests as well. Like they've even had like recent players. They've had like Jarvis and stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? Like they've had recent. So I'll let you know when they are. And yeah, no, like I said, so the 7th of November, and we'll be there. So yeah,
nice one.
Sorry, I got distracted. It's Angelo Ogbonna, and I've got. But does anyone want to add anything before I go?
No, just that we are effing massive.
yeah, definitely.
Long may it continue with him and Zuma, mate. Obviously, just to sort of quickly say this, he's doing great, but we've got to be looking for someone to sort of come in to take Angie's place in the future. Like he's got, you can't do it for another like 4 years. So in the next 4 years, it'd be nice to have 2 young centre halves back there, like Zuma and someone else who. And yeah, he deserves all the respect he's getting now, because there was once upon a time when not a lot of people fancied him at West Ham anymore. So well done, Angelo Ogbonna.
Yeah, no, definitely. And before I go, sorry, I didn't see these comments. I got distracted. I didn't know we had ex-players on the level of our youth team. No, it definitely is. You've got Zav on there. Yeah, Carlton Cole. You've got a few, and that's great. You've got Paul Konchesky now on the women's side. He used to manage the under-14s. Mark Noble even Mark Noble's boys in the under-12s now, I think. So Mark Noble, he's not a coach, but he goes there and he coaches them as well. Steve Potts, yeah. He's under 18s or 16s, isn't he? Under 8. Yeah. No, let's have a go. Would love to see Kevin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do Kevin Nolan as well, Adam. I'll put him on the list. I loved Kevin Nolan as a West Ham player as well. I think that one, it's only like 2 or 3 seasons, isn't it? But you could probably spend like flipping half an hour talking about each season, obviously, when we come up, first couple of years under Big Sam. But yeah, no, definitely will. And yeah, of course we will, Kaz. We'll talk about Julian. We'll get about Julian. Yeah, no, definitely. Gents, I might as well ask you here. Use around tomorrow to do a preview for City game.
I'll be back, mate. If you need me, let's give us a shout.
Yeah, you know, Mike, you.
Yeah,
I'll send you the. I'll create it in the morning. I'll send you. What time suits you, Mike?
Well, I'll get home from work about 6:30, so you know.
What about this time? Would that probably be better? Give you time to sort yourself out, or is that a bit too late?
No,
about half eight. About half eight.
Fine by me.
Yeah, sweet. James, will be about 8:30 tomorrow. I'll send you the links. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Don't forget them to like, subscribe, and of course, sorry, James. People may not know who you are, but I'm pretty sure they do now. Give it a plug, mate.
You can find me on E20 Zone TV. I'm doing sort of similar thing to Andy. Andy's a bit more unique with what he's doing. But yeah, I do player ratings, previews, and getting thoughts of people's opinions on currently how well it is going at West Ham. So if you like what I say, go and check it out. Give it a subscribe. It'll go a long way, mate. Thank you very much.
And of course, we won't be the same with our young Jake. I hope young Jake is enjoying his holiday.
My little man is he's sunning himself at the moment, but
is he? Yeah. I haven't spoken to Richard. I haven't. Yeah, look what we've paid for. Look what we've paid.
all them super chats. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We've paid for a family holiday to take his mum and dad on holiday. I'm joking. No, I hope they're enjoying their holiday. I hope they're enjoying it. And yeah, like I said, people, you'll see us again tomorrow about 8:30. So if you want to listen to our thoughts with regards to Man City, of course, it's a sellout at the London Stadium tomorrow.
Amazing.
There is no seats available, that's. But it's not amazing for me, Mike. In my group of 6, I'm the only one who bought a ticket. I ain't got a clue who's going to be sitting next to me tomorrow. I'm
not going, mate. But yeah, it's a shame.
Are any of the boys going?
No, I don't think. No, nor my daughter. You didn't see my daughter. She was there Sunday.
I think I did. I actually did because I looked down and I forgot that you were. I forgot that you weren't there.
You saw this little blonde girl. I was like, "Who's that?"
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't like that. No, I was like, "Where's Mike? Where's Mike?" And then I forgot you weren't there. And obviously, the game before you were behind me. You was confused.
We're all over the place, mate. Yeah. No, we'll be back to normal. Don't worry. Next game, we're all back to normal.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, as soon as them tickets go on sale, I'll send you the link, and if you can go, get on them and you order them. But no, thanks to everyone in the chat. Thank you to James. Thank you to Mike. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 UK time. And yeah, take care, everyone.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys.